In this video, we're going to look at how we can use the adjustable met bar to load the midfoot to offload the forefoot. And for this, we have a special pad, and I'm going to show you how we might use that. Also, I'm going to show how we might use imagery with the scan to help us position that loading and offloading. To start with, I'm just going to grab a scan. This happens to be my foot. And we're going to whisk through here, first and the fifth heel point. I'm going to select an image here, and I'm just going to use a general image that I found on the internet that is not related to this foot, but it shows the principle of having a photograph. This could be a photograph off an iPhone. It could be something that's captured during scanning. Obviously, the more specific it is to the patient, the easier it will be to fit it on. But for the purpose of this demonstration, that should be okay. And when we go in and start work, you'll see that if I turn the image on, if I turn it on full actually, you'll see that we've now got it wrapped onto the foot. And this is great if you want to position pads or relief or cutouts more precisely. So for this example, I'm going to use an EVA device. We don't need the image for a while. It's just positioned it based upon the key marks, landmarks that I picked. There's not much needs doing there. And I'm going to go straight into midfoot fit, full foot fit. So that's created a closer fit with the foot. And then when we come into the surface modifications, I'm going to take a look at this one here, the adjustable met bar. And the bit that makes this one different from the other pads is that it has the ability for us to edit the distal edge. So before I do that, I'm going to size it a little bit wider so it goes across the whole of the device, as you can see here and here. And then I'm going to do edit points, and it gives me a number of options. Firstly, and most importantly, is it gives me the height, which is this height at the front here. So this is the blue, is the shape we're editing. The leading edge angle, which is how steep the front edge is. And then the trailing edge angle, which is how steep the back end of the device is that we're adding. So height, we can make it go higher, which is a height above the plane of the insole, and the leading edge angle and the trailing edge angle. So you get some idea of what it's going to look like here. The other aspect is the ability for us to bring the image in and design what this edge looks like on the front end by moving these points around. So in this case here, we don't want to be applying pressure around the ulceration. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this or shape this edge to our own specification or prescription to offload where we want it to offload. So let's make that a little wider. And if I apply that, prescribe it, what you'll see if I take the scan to semi-transparent is that we've created a loading on the device through the whole of the foot that is holding in the unaffected area, is applying pressure to offload the area where we have a problem. Okay, and you can see that's where that is there. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is put some relief on. So what I'm going to do now is, rather than go to something that is standard, I'm going to create a custom relief. So I bring the image back on here, and I simply come in and sketch myself a curve that I think is representative of where I want to offload. Close the curve. You can even repoint it and add more points in if you wish to make it a little bit more evenly spaced. And then you can create the relief and save it. It will get an image, grab the image, and we're creating a new library here, and we're going to call this relief 1 and create it. Now if I go back to my library, I've now got this test option here, which has got that item in it, and I can add it in. Okay, and as I zoom in, I can still edit those points a little bit because they're a little bit too far proximal.
So I can still override what the decision I made. I don't want it to be 4 mil deep, I want it to be 2 mil deep, and I prescribe it. And let's see what we get. So what we should have now is that pad and offloading together. So the effect is to have this variable pad that we can modify at any time. It's not fixed. So I can edit those points and I can bring that trailing edge down to have less impact in the heel. So now it will blend back in lower down, sorry, more distally, so you get less impact down in the heel. And we can keep playing with that to get the option that we want.